Professor Zarvik had designed this lesson to teach proper respect for dangerous fauna. The Draken cubs in the containment unit were 6 weeks old enough to display hunting instincts, young enough to be controlled. Their species had ravaged 3 colony worlds before being designated a Class A threat. "Observe," Zarvik announced to the xenobiology class, "the Draken predator in its juvenile form. Note the retractable claws, the sensory whiskers, and the pronounced canine teeth." The students leaned forward in their seats, except for the human in the back row. Michael Foster was sketching something in his notebook, apparently unbothered by the lesson on lethal creatures. Despite their small size, Zarvik continued, triggering the containment release. "These cubs possess all the aggressive instincts of their adult forms. They will immediately assess threats and establish dominance through." The 3 cubs tumbled out of the container, their dark fur bristling as they took in the lecture hall. Multiple species, strange smells, bright lights. Every student tensed, ready to activate personal shields. The cubs' noses twitched. Their heads swiveled in perfect unison. Then they bolted, not toward the nearest target, not toward the weakest scent, but straight past 23 cowering students, directly to the human in the back row. Michael looked up just as the first cub launched itself into his lap. The second scrambled up his chest. The third climbed onto his shoulder and began purring, actually purring, while kneading his jacket with those supposedly lethal claws. "What the—" Zarvik's translator struggled to keep up with his shocked chittering. Michael blinked at the pile of predators, now competing for space on his body. "Hi there." He tentatively scratched behind one cub's ear. Its purring intensified, and it pressed its head into his palm. "Impossible," Zarvik breathed. "Drekins don't purr. They don't show affection. They're engineered killing machines by evolution." "They're babies," Michael said simply, now stroking all 3 cubs simultaneously. One had curled up in his lap like a house cat. Another was trying to groom his hair. The third had its tiny paws on his chest, staring at him with wide, adoring eyes. A Vrillin student raised a tentacle. "Professor, why isn't it attacking him? Humans are optimal prey. Soft skin, no natural defenses, manageable size." Michael made a sound, soft, high-pitched, clicking noises with his tongue. The cubs' ears perked up. Their pupils dilated. All 3 began making matching sounds back at him, their tails wagging. "He's communicating with them," another student whispered. "No," Zarvik corrected, pulling up bio readings on his display. "He's bonding with them. Look at their stress hormones, completely baseline. They've assessed him as pack." "But that's not possible," the Vrillin insisted. "Drekins are solitary hunters. They don't form packs." Michael had somehow arranged all 3 cubs into a comfortable pile on his lap and was gently rocking them. 2 were already falling asleep. "Maybe they're solitary because nobody ever tried being nice to them," he suggested. "Back on Earth, we domesticated wolves. Everyone said that was impossible too." Zarvik's data pad chimed with an alert. The cubs' neural patterns were synchronizing with Michael's heartbeat. They were imprinting. "Cadet Foster," Zarvik said slowly, "you realize those cubs now consider you their parent?" Michael looked down at the 3 deadly predators snuggled trustingly against him. One yawned, displaying rows of needle-sharp teeth, then nuzzled deeper into his warmth. "Yeah," Michael said, smiling that strange human smile. "I'm okay with that." The professor pulled up Earth's historical files, searching for a precedent. What he found made his blood run cold. Wolves, big cats, bears, raptors. Humanity's planet had been filled with apex predators, and somehow, impossibly, humans had looked at evolution's perfect killers and thought, "Friend?" "Class dismissed," Zarvik announced weakly. "I need to revise the curriculum." As students filed out, they cast nervous glances at the human who sat peacefully in the back row, 3 of the galaxy's most dangerous predators sleeping contentedly in his arms like they'd finally found home. Zarvik made a note in his files. "Humans don't fear apex predators. They adopt them. Recommend extreme caution in future xenobiology demonstrations.